How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Happy Monday. Here's the universe chart actually. Whoops. Morning everyone. What's up, Sea Blast? Price, Amon, Brad, Milan. All right. So let's give it one more minute for everyone to get in here and then we'll get started. What's everyone looking at today? What is everyone looking at today? Let's see where we're at regarding that mother of all trend lines here. Let me remove this. All right, so regarding that mother of all trend lines from the high from the beginning of 2022, January, we're still over it, right? So we're looking strong here in pre-market, right? SPY 0.9, QQQ up 1.2%, IWM up 1%, right? So we're sitting above this trend line here. If we take the fibs from the low, let's see, we're probably at the 0.382. We're right over the 382, in between the 236, and we're kind of sitting right at the 236 here in pre-market, I believe. Yeah. So just to take note of where we're sitting at, right? Let's see where we're at from this low, right at the 382. Okay, right. It's always just good to take note of where you are within the trend, right? So still in an overall uptrend, right? Just a pullback to the 382, or to the 382 from the low here, right? So still in an overall uptrend. Okay, looking at Carvana, D-Dog, Snow. Going on, Jim? So if we take a look at this trend line here from the low, right? We bounced off multiple times here. And then last week on Thursday or just Friday, right, we dipped below, we retested, and we couldn't reclaim it. But now, right, market strong here in pre-market. We're opening back above, right? Typical fake out to the downside and a rip back up. So I want to see if we could push through 400 today, right? 400, obviously huge psychological level in the market, right? We also have a previous double top acted as a support, right? So we need to see what happens with 400 at open, right? If we push through 400, we need to break through 402.2, and then we should have a large amount of room to run to around 405 or so, right? This previous support right here acted as resistance, right? Big level above 405, right? So 400, 402.2, and then 405. If we reject here, right, we got 396 below and then 393, right? Just play the common levels across the board. That's it, right? If the market does this, then you do that. If ever could drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. So CBS is looking at Carvana. Let's take a look at Carvana. Let me remove everything here. Okay, so first things first is I like, right, look where we're sitting at right now. Right, this previous resistance, starting to act as a support. Right, look at the volume, and this level here across the board as well. Right, previous support. Right, look at this little flag here. This is like my favorite pattern. This flag right here. Right, if you could find something looking like this every time, works out majority of the time. Right, move to the upside, consolidation in a flag form, and then breaks out and rips to the upside. Right, slight pullback and then rip. Every single time, this pattern, just like this. This is what we're looking for, or this is what I'm looking for every single time, at least. But yeah, this looks good. What's your level? Let me check the Discord quick. sure yet. Let's see, let's go into a smaller time frame here. All right, so we could use this as an entry point. All right, this high, and this low would be the stop loss. Okay, and then we can also use, all right, that high 905. All right, we also need to keep an eye at this level here, 844. Right, this previous resistance of the flag. All right, so 844, not a bad entry point on that. Add to the watch list. I'm sure it had some good flow. So SPY we covered. QQQ. All right, looking at the 1 hour. All right, so QQQ, we had this trend line that we were bouncing off of multiple times. We broke below. We started to consolidate here. But now we're starting to consolidate at this previous resistance. Right, previous resistance. We rejected here again, rejected again, acted as a support. Right, now we're kind of consolidating at it again, right near 292.5. A little fake out to the downside again, right? So if we do see weakness today, right, we need to watch 290, right? Previous resistance, previous support, right? So we're opening up around 295 or so. So if we get a pullback, watch this 292 level, 292.5, right? If we see a move to the upside, watch this 297 level, right? Previous resistance, previous support, previous resistance. Okay. Just finding the common levels across the board and playing them. We do have this little kind of, this wedge here. So if we do break out over this double top that we got here, 298, we could see a nice little run up. We got a little gap to fill here, and then we have another gap to fill up here. Right, this could be a great play. Right, we could definitely see a huge push. Right, definitely going to be looking to trade something on the challenge account today. Should be interesting. IWM also same thing. I do like all this consolidation at this support that we have here. Right, previous resistance acting as support. Right now acting as support. Huge amount of consolidation here. We could see a push through, an entry point here. Rather use this as an entry. You can use either of these as an entry. I would size a little smaller until we break through this resistance here. Around 190.3 or so. Looks good. Definitely looks good. Amazon, right? Take a look at where it bounced, right? This previous support, bounced perfectly. Now we're right back in within this wedge here, right? So price actions, starting to consolidate. It's getting tighter and tighter, right? So it should be interesting if we see some strength here at open, right? We should see a push up to around 96 or so. Not my favorite setup, but we'll keep an eye on it. Apple, pretty much the same thing as well, right? This previous resistance that acted as a support, acted as a resistance on Friday, right? We did have a double bottom here from Thursday and Wednesday. Okay. Right, if this can hold 147, we should see a push up to around 149 and 150. Clean levels here on Apple. Definitely clean levels. Tesla looks good, right? Higher lows, lower highs. If this can break out over 205, we're going to see 208, and then we're going to see 214 or so, this level here. I'm going to set an alert right before that breakout part at 205. And that's what I'll watch. It's up 2.5%. It's pretty strong here in pre-market. Carvana coin, keep an eye on. I definitely like this for a high risk, high reward setup. Right, multiple bounces off this bottom trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower highs, right? Lows are kind of consolidating, creating a double bottom here. And it looks like we might break out. Let's check Bitcoin quick. Oops. Which one? This one. Delete this. All right, so Bitcoin's kind of consolidating here too. Right, look at this trend line here. It looks like sort of kind of, you know, breaking out. Right, this could totally break out. I'm going to set an alert here. And then if this can break through this resistance, set an alert at 24,450. You know, we should see a push up. And then if that breaks, we're going to see this level. Oops. We're going to see this level here on Bitcoin, which is a perfect previous double top. Right, previous support, previous resistance, everything always lines up perfectly. We'll set an alert there as well. All right, so let me add this to the watch list with coin. All right, so now we have our setup. Definitely a great high risk, high reward setup. Everyone should keep an eye on coin. It's up 3% here in pre-market. Right, this could totally see a nice run up to 72. Right, look where we are on the chart as well, right? Previous resistance, turned into a support, turned into a support, turned into a support. Right, now we're sitting at these lows here. Right, where we bounce once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. Right, so if this can break out, we should see a push. Definitely keeping an eye on this. Just got to see where we want to enter. Where would be a good entry point? Right, so we could use this resistance here as an entry point, or we could use this previous support. Yeah, we could do that level. But then we would need to break out over here and then break out here. Gonna have to, you know, keep an eye on it at open. See how we want to play that. But definitely keep an eye on coin. I'm gonna set, whoops. Definitely, I'm gonna set an alert here. Off. And an alert here in case we see a pullback. Okay. Meta still consolidating within this wedge. 173.69 resistance above. Support 167.66. Need to see what happens. It's either going to break out or break down out of this wedge today. It should. Need to see what happens. AMD not really. Right, I mean, we could make this a wedge. It's not the cleanest of all. Not my favorite setup today. NVIDIA sitting right above this previous double top, right, acting as a support. Need to watch it over the high of 238.88. Right, set an alert. And I'll set an alert below. Meta had good flow too. So yeah, definitely going to keep an eye on flow at open. Square. All right, look at Square rejecting again. Right, we can totally enter Square over 78. Right, we bounced perfectly. We had a perfect double bottom here. Huh. Square is down in pre-market though. Interesting to note. Pretty interesting. See what everyone's saying in the chat here. Oh, I see Ghost is looking at coin too. Well, let's go back to coin for a second. On the daily. So I think he has the trend line from here. Yeah, so it's kind of, right, we broke out. This is the daily, right? We broke out. This could totally break out soon. Go back to Square. Square looks pretty good if it can break out over, you know, 78 or so. My coffee. Google. I don't really like trading options on Google. They don't really move that well. Of course, it's an important name to keep an eye on. Let me open up the dashboard and we'll go over this quick. So here's the dashboard. Put a little reset. Change the filters. All right, so this week, change that. Out of the money calls, out of the money puts. Let's see what we got. Right, so I'm gonna set this up for today. What do I like to do? I like to move this over here. Take the date off. Expiration set. Spot I'll put next to this. I'll look for sweeps only. And then I could just take it off the chart. That I'll move over there. I like to set this, honestly, to add ask. Well, add ask and at bid. Or, you know, you could just do add ask. Right, that way I'm looking for, you know, pretty much people that are just entering. Right, just to see where people are positioning. Right, and then premiums, I could change this to greater than or equals to, and then, you know, in the beginning of the week, 100,000, or I'll just do, you know, 60 or 70,000. Right, and now I'm good to go. What did we have here at close? So this is the last half hour of Friday. Look at this. Buy 10,000 contracts. A big order. Tesla 200 calls for 344,000. All right, so I'm looking for odd contracts. An odd amount of premium, right? Like 10,000 contracts. This is a planned trade. This is probably a hedge. All right, look how many contracts. 500 contracts, 500, 250. All right, 390. All right, I want to see, you know, like 137 like this, right? Like 137 contracts, 861 contracts, right? An odd amount of contracts. It's not the most important, but it's something to take note of when you're looking at this flow. Right, just to, you know, help you gauge a potential, you know, opinion of what the buyer is thinking. Right, like this is a planned trade. 1,000 contracts at 290,000. ZS. Nice flag. All right, look at this. Look at this flag that we got here, kind of. That ain't bad. Could totally break out. All right, lines up perfectly with this resistance. Also bouncing off of this previous level here. All right, this previous support acting as a support again. What is this flow? So 145. Wow. $15 out of the money. What's the ticker? ZS. So someone has ZS 145 calls for 3-3. That's Friday. Wow. All right, we have this double top here, triple top. Right, previous support acting as resistance. All right, we could use this as an entry. 134. Huh. They have earnings. They already had earnings. The beat. Pretty interesting. Let's keep an eye on this. Add it to the watch list. Right, we can use that 134.43 as an entry. ZS earnings? They already had earnings. No? Unless this is wrong. The last news was from the 14th. Oh, March 2nd? Okay, so TradingView's wrong. So they have earnings March 2nd. What is that? That's Thursday? Okay, so they have earnings Thursday. So that's interesting, right? Everyone, we should keep an eye on this. Right? This is pretty... Also here, look at this. 142 calls. Huh. See. ZS. So before close... Also a 152. Bearish though, it's at the bid. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Everyone should keep an eye on this, set their alert. Right, that's interesting. Right, $15 out of the money for a weekly option with earnings. That's definitely very odd. Right, especially the week before, it looks like they didn't want people to see. Right? If they wanted people to see, right, they would take it, you know, again this week. But putting over, you know, $150,000, $200,000 on a, you know, a $15 out of the money option with earnings this week, pretty interesting, right? We've got to keep an eye on that. Got to keep an eye on that. That's what we're looking for. Anything that's far out of the money, that's expiring in less than a week, is always going to be interesting. Always going to be interesting. All right, let's see what SPY is doing here in pre-market. Market opens here in 8 minutes. Is there a reason why I choose to start SPY over SPX? No, same thing. Same thing. All right, so we had a period of consolidation here around 398. And then we are pushing up and rejecting 400. All right, so need to watch 400 at open. Okay. Need to watch 400 at open. This is up 2.75% here. All right, so coin, Tesla, do like Amazon. See what else? Meta, I like. Nvidia looks good. Square also looks good for a potential bigger run up. Right, if this breaks, we should see 80 plus. Microsoft, EDD, didn't look at, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know. Lucid, no. Roku. Right. There's resistance here. Needs to break 66. I'll set an alert just in case, but not going to keep a close eye on it. Dash, no. DraftKings, no. BABA just been selling off every single time. All right, so these are the names that I'll keep an eye on. And SPY, of course. What's everyone think about trading SPX today? I know I said I won't trade it, but it really is the best to trade on a small. I should reiterate that it's not good to trade on a small account if you're trying to be conservative. But if you're trying to, you know, have high risk, high reward setups that move quick, it's the best. All right, so you know it depends how you're looking at it, and also, you know, what the goal of your account is. Right, if you're actually trying to trade legitimately and how you know you should be on a main account, then SPX is, you know, a little sketchy. But if you're trying to grow an account quickly, it's great. And it's great. I do want to trade it, but I did say I wasn't going to. So I do want to stick to my word. Right, I don't want to deviate from, you know, what I said in the beginning, but yeah, SPX, right, need to watch 4,000, of course. 40.15, and then 40.37, and then 40.50, of course. Right around 40.48, 40.50 or so. Okay, could delete these. All right, market opens here in 4 minutes. Let's transition over to the Discord. As always, thank you all for stopping by. If you could drop a like on the video before you guys run, I would really appreciate it. So have a good week. As always, plan the trade, trade the plan. If there's not a setup, don't take a trade, right? There's no rush. There's going to be more days to trade ahead. Right, we have tomorrow, Wednesday, we have next week, we have the week after, the month after that, and so on, right? Don't be looking for a home run. Okay? Appreciate all you stopping by. I'll see you in the Discord voice chat.